Tom Jones here with P6 Biz Builders. The real question is the business ready to support another person? Most owners hire too late and out of desperation. A few owners hire too early because they hope another employee will fix everything. Both can hurt. Here are the 3 signals I want you to look for. Signal 1, the work is consistent. One good month is not a reason to hire. One large project is not a reason to hire. A short summer rush may not be a reason to hire. You want to see several months of steady work, a healthy backlog, or jobs you keep turning away because your current team cannot handle it. Ask yourself, has this work been steady or am I just reacting to a busy stretch? A full schedule for 2 weeks is very different from having a dependable work for the next 3 or 4 months. Signal 2, you have become the bottleneck. If every estimate, customer questions, schedule change, purchase, and job site problem has to come through you, growth is going to stop with you. That does not always mean you need to hire another person in the field. You may need somebody who can take the scheduling, paperwork, invoicing, customer follow-up, material orders off your plate. Here's the question I would ask. What is not getting done because everything still has to come through me? Then go one step deeper. How is that affecting my customers, my family, and the time I have to bring in profitable work? That is where the real issue usually shows up. You're not hiring just because you're busy. You are hiring to remove a clear bottleneck. Signal 3, the numbers support it. This is the part many owners skip. They know they need help. They know they are tired, but they do not know whether the business can safely carry the cost. If the work is steady, you know the bottleneck and the numbers support the decision, you may be ready to hire. If one of those pieces is missing, you may not be ready yet. You just may be tired. There is a difference, and I say that with love. Number 2, second part is knowing what an employee really costs. This is where owners can get burned. They think, I'm paying this person $25 an hour, so they cost me $25 an hour. They do not. The wages is only the starting point. You also have employer payroll taxes, workers' compensation insurance, unemployment insurance, liability insurance, benefits if you offer it to them, uniforms and safety equipment, tools, truck, fuel or mileage, phones and software, training time, paid time during the slow weeks, the time you or another employee spends supervising them. So a $25 employee may really cost $35, $38, or even $40 an hour after everything is included. Sometimes more. Do not use my number as your number. Run the numbers for your own company. Then ask the questions that matter. At full cost, how much does this person need to produce to pay for themselves and still leave the company a fair profit? If you cannot answer that question, you're not making a hiring decision. You are gambling. Let's just say an employee costs 70 grand. So if we've got 70,000, but that's not what they really cost. With all the other things, with the insurance, with the employer payroll taxes, training time, everything else, they may be $15,000 to $20,000 more, and you still have to make a profit for the company. So that 90, they're going to have to bill out probably, they're going to have to be able to do 120, $130,000 so the company makes a profit, and to make sure that you cover all your overhead and during the slow times and mistakes. The company still has to cover that slow time, mistakes, supervision, equipment, and profit. And again, I'm just giving an example, but the exact target will depend on your margins and what type of business you run. But you need to know that target before you make the offer. Think about this. If I knew exactly what this employee needed to produce every week, how would that change the way I price my jobs, schedule work, and manage their time? That gives you something clear to measure. And again, what you can measure, you can manage. Most business owners I work with are very good at what they do in the field. That is usually not the main problem. The core problem is they do not know how adding another person will affect cash flow. A profitable employee can still create a cash flow problem. Why? Because the employee gets paid before every customer pays you. So you maybe hire this employee. If you're on weekly, pay them at the end of the week. You may not have the job done. Customer may not get invoiced for another week or two, and then they're not going to pay for 30 to 60 days, even though you've paid your employee. And you may have several weeks of training before that person is fully productive. You may need to buy them tools, uniforms, safety equipment, a phone, or even a vehicle before that employee brings $1 of revenue. So do not only ask, can we afford the wage? Ask, can our cash carry this person through the first 60 to 90 days? Because you're going to have to put out a lot of money up front before the work this person does brings you any cash revenue. Of course, on the P&L, it's going to look like revenue, but you haven't collected the cash yet. Look at what is expected to come in and out over the next 13 weeks. Think about the slow weeks. Think about customers who pay late. Think about taxes, insurance, loan payments, equipment, and other large bills that are already coming. Then ask yourself, if I have 2 customers that pay late during this employee's first month, what happens to payroll? The question is not meant to scare you. is meant to help you see the risk before it becomes an emergency. You want the employee joining a stable business. You do not want everyone wondering whether payroll is going to clear or not. It's one of the worst things I've seen for some business owners. They do that payroll, and the employees are calling them at home that night because their check bounced. Does not look good. Third thing to think about. This is a step almost everybody skips. It is also one of the biggest reasons first hires fail. You bring someone into the company, give them a rough idea of the job, and expect them to know everything that has been inside your head for the last 10 to 20, 30 years. They cannot read your mind. You know how the truck should be loaded. You know how the customer should be greeted. You know what materials should be checked before leaving the shop. You know what a finished job should look like. The new employee does not know any of this unless you show them. So write it down. It does not have to be a 100-page employee manual. Start with a simple one-page checklist. What they do before the job, what they do during the job, what they check before leaving, what done correctly looks like, and who they contact when something goes wrong. You can also record a short video showing how a task can be done. Here is the truth. A good employee in a business with no systems can look like a bad employee. Again, the employee may not be the problem. The missing system may be the problem. Before you blame that person, ask, did we clearly explain what success looks like? Then ask, did we give them the training, the tools, the authority, and feedback they needed? That is a much better question than, why can nobody do this the way I do this? You are not hiring somebody to read your mind. You are hiring someone to follow and later improve a process that already works. Next question. This is number 4. Who should I hire first? Most contractors quickly think they need another set of hands in the field. Sometimes they do, but sometimes a smarter first hire is a person who takes scheduling, paperwork, invoicing, customer follow-up, or material orders off the owner's desk. Look at where your time is leaking. Are you spending evenings preparing estimates? Are invoices going out late? Are customer calls breaking up your day? Are you doing office work when you should be managing profitable jobs, or leading the company? Hire for the role that creates the most useful time and capacity for you as the owner. Do not hire just to become busier. Hire to remove the problem that is holding back profitable growth. Interview the person. Do not sell the job. Here's another lesson I learned. Hire for reliability, attitude, and willingness to learn. Then train the skills that can be trained. A person who shows up on time, listens, treats customers and other employees well, and takes responsibility will often beat someone with more experience who is unreliable or hard to manage. Be honest during the interview. Explain the schedule, explain the physical work, explain what the job looks like on a normal day, not just the best day. Then ask questions and give them room to answer. You might ask, walk me through what you're doing in your current job. What do you like about that work? What has been frustrating about it? Tell me about a time something went wrong on a job. What did you do? When you do not know how to complete something, how do you handle it? What does being dependable mean to you? And listen to them. Listen to their answers. Do not spend the whole interview telling them how great a company is. You're trying to find out whether that opportunity fits them as much as whether they fit you. Might also ask, if you had clear training and knew what success looked like, how would that help you do a better job? That lets the person tell you what kind of support they need. And one warning, do not hire a friend just because your friend needs a job. That is not always a business decision. Sometimes it is a favor. And favors involving payroll can hurt both business and the friendship. And again, once you hire somebody, do not assume the work is finished. The first 30 days matter. Give the new employee a written job description, a first week training plan, clear daily and weekly goals, one person responsible for answering questions from them, regular feedback, a simple scorecard that shows how success is measured. After that, do a short check-in at the end of the first week. Ask, what's been clear so far? What has been confusing? What do you need from us to do this job correctly? And how confident do you feel about doing work on your own? Where do you need more training? Do not wait the 30 to 60 days to find out if the person does not understand the job. Clear up confusion early before it becomes an expensive mistake. Because remember, you're not going to collect that cash right away. You're not going to collect it maybe for another 30, 60, or 90 days. So you don't want that. You want to keep your cost to a minimum for training these new employees. Most employees want to know 3 things. What am I responsible for? How will I know whether I'm doing well? And who do I go to when I need help? Answer those questions early. So let me bring this home. You may be ready to hire when the work is steady, you have found the bottleneck, and the numbers support the decision. Before you make the hire, calculate the true full cost. Make sure your cash can support the first 60 to 90 days, taking into account what if a couple good customers don't pay in that first month? What is that going to do? Choose a role that creates the most profitable time and capacity. Write down the work before the person arrives. Give them clear training, goals, and feedback. Do these things in the right order, and your first employee can help grow the business. Skip those steps, and the hire can drain your cash, your time, your patience, and increase your stress level. Because this is not about working harder because you're probably already doing enough of that. It's about building a company where every decision does not have to run through you. Here's a piece I do not want you to skip. Before you put anyone on payroll, make sure your cash can carry that employee through training, slow weeks, and time between finishing the work and getting paid. That is why I use a 13-week cash flow forecast. It helps you see week by week what is expected to come in, what must go out, where the cash could become tight before you make the commitment. If you would like a copy, send me a private message with the word cash flow. There's no need to post it in the comments. Just send me a direct message, and my team or I will get the information to you. And if you're looking at your numbers thinking, I'm not sure whether we can afford this hire, send me a message. We can set up a 30-minute proactive cash flow and profit strategy session and look what is happening in your business. We will first decide whether there is a problem that can truly help you solve, and also to make sure that also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, P6 Biz Builders. I'm posting more videos there about cash flow, profit, hiring systems, and how to build a profitable company that can run without everything depending on you. The YouTube link will be with this video. And by the way, do you know of anybody else who could use our services? Maybe they're getting ready to hire, having trouble predicting cash flow, or working harder without seeing more money in their pocket. Feel free to share my contact information with them or ask them to send me a private message. And I can even set up a 30-minute session with them for the profit and cash flow strategies. Again, thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. Remember, do not hire because you are tired. Hire because the work is steady, the role is clear, the systems is ready, and the numbers make sense.